This is Leo Cloutier with Malice to It, and we're here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburg today. It's indeed a pleasure to have as our guest one of the greatest shortstops the game has ever known, one of the greatest sportscasters the game has ever known. I'd like to welcome to our show Pee Wee Reese. Pee Wee, you spent a very successful career in the game of broadcasting also, and you were with the great Dizzy Dean for many years, years which you must have enjoyed.
Well, I spent 6 years with Diz, and when I went into it, after being a coach for the L.A. Dodgers, I didn't want to, Leo, tell you the truth. I didn't think I could do the job. I didn't think I was that glib or that articulate to become an announcer, but they talked me into it, and I guess it was the best thing that ever happened to me because I did spend 12 years in it, and I made good money. I was still associated with baseball, got to see baseball 2 or 3 times a week, which I enjoyed, and working with Dizzy Dean was, I couldn't think of a nicer man to start working with, but when I first signed up to work with Diz, I saw someone in New York, and I hadn't met Diz at the time, and somebody said, "Pee Wee, I see where you're going to work with Dizzy Dean this year," and I said, "Yes, sir, I am." He said, "Well, if anybody can get along with that no good so-and-so, I guess you can." But I didn't find it that way. Diz and I had no problem whatsoever, and when I first went on the air, if I had a little problem, a little slow time or something, Diz always picked me up, so he was great to me and great for me, really.
I know I've had the pleasure of listening to both of you on numerous occasions, and I must say that you certainly formed one of the greatest combinations in the field of broadcasting.
Well, I guess we didn't use the best English all the time, Leo, but I guess we did communicate with the people, and you get letters occasionally about, if you say a word like 100, you know, instead of saying 100, instead of saying 100, you say 100, which you've said all your life, and it's pretty hard to break an old dog of doing the same thing. And a lot of words that of living in the South, you've said all your life, and people up east are listening to you, and they criticize you, but you don't pay too much attention to those letters as long as you get the job done.
You're so right. How about Dizzy Dean? You probably didn't have the chance to play against him, but did he slide into second base as many times as he said?
Yes, I think so, and I think that Diz realized that after a while that when he said slud and things of that sort, that people got a big kick out of it. I think a lot of times when he got excited, he really did. I think that's the way Diz talked, really. And, of course, he was criticized for saying ain't so much, and I always liked the line he said that a lot of people ain't saying ain't eating as well as old Diz is.
He was so right. What are you doing now, Pee Wee?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that, Leo, because I've worked for the Cincinnati Reds for 2 years, and the people that I worked for lost the sponsorship up there. The Beautiful beer people and another local beer took it over, so I didn't have a job. And living in Louisville all my life and working, well, kind of part-time with Hilbrick and Bradsby, the Louisville Slugger people, they came to me about 2 months ago, or longer than that, 4 months ago, and said, would I like to come with them and work for Louisville Slugger? And I said, well, I don't know if I want to or not, because it does, you do have to do a little traveling. So I thought about it for about 6 weeks and finally went into Mr. Hilbrick and said, I'll take the job. So now that I'm finding out that it really wasn't the wood that Musial had in his bat that made him a better hitter. He was just a better hitter than I was. I had the same wood that he had, Leo.
And what kind of wood would that be?
That would be white ash. That's mostly what they use in all the Major League bats and practically all the bats, because they could use hickory, and hickory would be a real good wood, but they just can't get light enough hickory to use. And if you used a hickory bat, it would have to be around 38 or 40 ounces. And today, there are not too many ball players use that heavy bat.
Well, Pee Wee, it's certainly been a pleasure talking here to you today, and I certainly want to thank you very much and wish you worlds of luck in your new endeavor with the Louisville Slugger.
Thank you very much, Leo. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Pee Wee. This was an interview with Pee Wee Reese, the former great shortstop of the Los Angeles Dodgers for over 20 years, and this brings us to the end with Malice to It. None from Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, Leo Cloutier. Good day.
Please subscribe and hit the notification bell to get more classic sports interviews from Leo Cloutier with Malice Toward None.